Let's suppose you want to sell something, or you have some important news to share. In other words, you have a message you want to get out to the masses. You could do this on an individual level through what's called verbal communication, or you could create a poster or another form of advertisement through what's called visual communication. In other words, graphic design. You may not realize it, but graphic design is a part of your everyday life, from the t-shirts you wear to the billboards you drive past every day. Today I would like to talk to you a little more about graphic design, so that you may gain a better understanding of what exactly graphic design is. We'll start by first answering the question, what is graphic design? Followed by, what do graphic designers do? Finally, we'll look at what it takes to be a successful graphic designer. What is graphic design? Graphic design is a creative process that combines both art and technology to convey a client's message. The main tools a graphic designer uses are images and typography. In image-based design, a designer will use or create images to convey a client's message. An excellent example of this would be the Apple logo. In type-based design, the designer will use words, but unlike a writer, a graphic designer has to account for how those letter forms look and how and what they're going to convey to their audience. An excellent example of this type of design would be the Coca-Cola logo. Type and image design, more often than not, the graphic designer will combine these two together to create a message for their client, as with the Iams logo. Now that you have a basic understanding of what graphic design is, we'll talk about what a graphic designer does. What does a graphic designer design? Well, look around you. Chances are you're surrounded by it. Everything from the icons on your computer screen to that magazine on your coffee table was on the desk of a graphic designer at some point. I'm going to talk about a few of the most common designs that a graphic designer will be working on. Starting with, of course, logo design. A logo identifies a product or a company by using symbols or type. It is not intended to sell a product or describe a business. It simply identifies, much like your name identifies you. Multimedia design. Multimedia design covers both print, such as books and magazines and newspapers, to digital design, such as website design, display or signage design. This is a three-dimensional sign you see everywhere, from storefronts to any store that has a sign on the building. Packaging design. Packaging design is what I work in right now, so I have a personal connection with this. It is important and has many functions, especially the ability to grab the audience's attention as well as protect the product. So now that you have an idea of what graphic design does, let's look at what it takes to be a graphic designer. Cognitive skills. Cognition has to do with the way in which we think and acquire knowledge. As a graphic designer, we must be both creative and logical. Graphic designers must be able to visualize the project from beginning to end and solve the problems that come in between. Technology. The graphic design field has become highly technical, and it is important for the graphic designer to stay up to date on the latest versions of software, such as Adobe's Creative Suite, which includes Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, and Flash. Art. Of course, art. Graphic designers, by their very nature, are artists. It is important to have a solid understanding of color, line, form, and composition. It doesn't matter if the project is a flyer, a website, a newspaper. It's art. Lastly, business and interpersonal skills. Graphic artists need a basic understanding of business practices. Much of their work is designed to help businesses improve their bottom line and to sell their products. Many graphic designers work with fellow designers, vendors, and other professionals, so they need the verbal skills to communicate and delegate on projects. Oftentimes, graphic designers are working under tight deadlines, so it is of the utmost importance to have strong verbal skills. So I hope my speaking with you today has helped you gain a better perspective on what graphic design is. Remember, this is just a brief overview on the many aspects of graphic design. I hope you take this knowledge and further explore this fascinating field. Thank you.